Well, folks, this is Guruji Online, and today we will start a new chapter, that is motion in a plane. Our previous chapter was motion in a straight line, and in a straight line, we dealt with one dimension motion. Here we will deal with two dimension motion. Motion in a plane means it is a two dimension motion. For understanding what is a plane, suppose this is x-axis, sorry, this is y-axis, and this is x-axis. Then this whole thing is called xy plane. Correct? And it is two dimensional because if any motion is there, suppose any position of the particle is there, then it will have two coordinates, x and y. Coordinates means this is x and this is now. So in our previous chapters, we have studied about position of the body, then of course average velocity, then average acceleration. Now all these things we will see how they behave in two-dimensional theory. Suppose some person is there, he goes in the east for 5 meters and then he turns and goes to the north 2 meters. So here basically we are dealing with two dimensions. This is one and that this is another. So what will be the path length? A path length will be, of course there is no problem because path length is a scalar quantity, it doesn't have direction. So path length here will be 5 plus 2 meter. But what about position? Suppose if we take it as x-axis and this take it as y-axis, then this of course by definition this is basically displacement. It is the shortest distance between the initial point and final point. And suppose this is P and this is Q. Then this OQ is called your position vector. Suppose if you want to find out what is the position vector of this point P, then this will be OP will be your position vector. This is for Q and this is for P. Correct. So these lengths basically you see they are defined in terms of vectors. So far we have studied our path length is scalar, but velocity is vector. We have seen in scalar quantity we have only magnitude. But in vector quantity we have magnitude as well as direction. So any vector, if it is defined as a vector, then it will give you the direction also, direction of the motion. And vectorially, if we present that vector, then length of that vector will give you the magnitude. So in this chapter, first we will study about vectors. Vectors, you know, it has magnitude and direction. For example, velocity, displacement, suppose you have this xy plane and this is the motion, two-dimensional motion curve. Then suppose this is point P. What will be the position vector? It will be OP. Correct? Then suppose if you take the point Q, this will have PQ. PQ is basically like this. So position of Q is defined as, that is your R dash if you say, then this will be defined as OQ is nothing but R dash vector, and this is basically displacement vector, because it is showing the least distance between the final point, that is Q, and initial point O. And here you can very well say, very well see that position, if you multiply this OP plus PQ, this will always be less than OQ. That means distance or position, path length will be either equal than displacement. This is what we have seen. Path length will be either equal to displacement or it will be less than displacement always. And here this vector, if you see, it is obeying the triangular law. Triangular law of addition. So before that, actually, how you are going to represent the vector? Vector is basically represented as an arrow. This is called tail. This is called head. And suppose OP is a vector, then it will be, it can be written like this. If R is a vector, it can be written like this. So this is how we represent the vectors. What is OP? This is the magnitude of OP vector. So this is, vector has magnitude, and we can find out any vector. Suppose A is a vector, then its magnitude will be A, correct? So what do you mean by triangular law of addition? Suppose you have two vectors, vector A and then vector B. If you want to add them from tail to head, then its tail will be to its head, and like this, and the resultant vector will be final head with the initial tail. This will be your resultant vector. This can be vectorially, it can be written as correct. So this is a triangular law of addition. We add the vectors as per the triangular rule. And there is another term is parallelogram law of addition. In this case, suppose if the same vectors, this is your vector B like this, and this is your vector A as a, then what will be the resultant? Then its resultant will be, you have to complete the parallelogram. Parallel to this and this parallel to this. then this will be the resultant. Correct? So this is something vector addition. Now we will move further on this. Suppose two vectors are there. A is there, suppose, and then you have B like this, you have C like this. Then how you can join this? So you just keep on joining. There is no problem. This is your A vector, this is your B vector, and this is your C vector, and this will be the resultant vector. Correct? For simplifying, for finding out the resultant, for if you simplify, then what will be the resultant of A and B? It will be nothing but like this. This will be your R dash. Then R dash and C, these two are vectors, and this is the resultant. So by simple triangular rule, you can find out the resultant. This is how you can analyze your problems when vectors are more than two. Now suppose you have one vector A like this, and vector B like this. And if you are asked to find out what will be the resultant of A minus B, correct? Then A minus B will be nothing but, you just parallel to this will be minus B. Now you add up A is like this. Now you add up minus B like this. Because this will be nothing but A plus minus B, correct? And then this will give you the resultant. This is how you add or subtract the vectors. If the vectors are one dimension, like this, and B is in the same direction, then of course they will add up like this. And R will be A plus B. On this length, basically these are giving the magnitude. If you draw your vectors scaled one, means with proper scale, then like you might have seen in triangle, if your this is 2 meter, sorry, this is 3 meter and this is 4 meter, then of course this length you will measure, it will be 5 meter only. So this is by Pythagoras theorem. So the same rule applies here also, as you find out the things in triangle. Now in case of multiplication, suppose if your vector is there, if you are multiplying this by any constant, then of course there is no, this will be, this will double. Suppose this is a, and 2a will be of course double the length. Correct? Same way, division also, the length of the vector will be divided proportionately. So these things are some of the things. Now what is unit vector? Unit vector is nothing but, it is giving basically simply the direction, because magnitude of unit vector is 1. Like I told you, if what will be the magnitude of this a, or you just remove the vector sign, then this is the magnitude of vector a. That means a divided by a, it is nothing but, this is called unit vector, because it is having direction only. Because if you divide, then this thing, this here only direction will remain, magnitude and magnitude they will cut off. And what is this direction? Direction is nothing but the direction of a. Suppose this is the vector a, then it is having the direction same only. The only thing is, it has got magnitude a, it has got magnitude 1. Correct? So sometimes this unit vector, it is very important to show the direction. Now unit vector is okay. What about null vector? What is null vector? You have seen R is equal to A plus B. Like that, suppose A minus A. If you are subtracting a vector from the same vector, then what will happen? This is called null vector. And magnitude of null vector will be 0. Correct? Then again, another thing comes, equality of vector means if A vector is equal to B vector, that means they are both equal in both are equal in magnitude and direction. Please note, suppose magnitude is same and direction is not, then they are not equal vectors. So mind it. Okay. There is a small problem or a small example. It has been given in NCERT book. In this case, basically, this is suppose XY axis. Here, what it says, rain is falling downward with some velocity and wind is blowing westward with some velocity. So this is, so a man, wind is falling like this, sorry, rain is falling like this, wind is flowing like this. So a man who is sitting, who is standing on the ground, in which direction he should hold his umbrella. So wind is blowing like this in this case, and then is also what will be the resultant? Suppose this is the resultant. Then what this is your theta. Then of course your tan theta will be nothing but VR upon VW. It is the magnitude of this and magnitude of this. You can find out, and it should hold the umbrella like this, because ultimately the direction of the rain with respect to wind will be like this. Correct. Now another term is resolution of now we will see what is resolution of vectors. By resolution we mean any vector, this can be resolved in two directions. Like suppose there is another vector, that is A, and that is B. So if you want to resolve this vector in A and B directions, so its component will be like this. A is a vector this vector you just make parallel to A. Now component of this will be nothing but lambda A, and here it will be nothing but any other constant with lambda, and A is nothing but lambda A plus, correct? So this vector is resolved in two vectors, and they are having that in the direction of A, and another is having in the direction of B. Like that, suppose you have x direction and y direction. So this can be, so this is vector A. We have component of A on x-axis, that is Ax, it is the magnitude. This is Ay, it's a magnitude. Now, unit vector, we have seen what is unit vector. Unit vector along I is defined as I, along x is defined as I. It is j. So A can be simply written as AXI plus AYJ. Correct? So this is how A is resolved in x direction and y directions. So concept of unit vectors along the axis is this: along x-axis the vector unit vector is taken as I, along this it is j, and along z it is k. So these are the unit vectors. Means any quantity or any magnitude multiplied by this will give you the vector in these directions. Correct? A vector 2 I means this is a vector in the direction of x and having the magnitude 2. Correct? And this is I, j, and k can be written as unit vectors along x, y, z axis. Correct? It is the same thing as along A, it was like this, but we are replacing A with I, B with J, then we are having this vector resolved along the I ray. Suppose this is tan theta, then tan theta will be nothing but AY upon AX. Correct? And suppose your A is 3-dimensional. Then what will be? You can resolve it. Then A is suppose 3-dimensional suppose this is A, it is having component in X also, Y also, and Z also, then of course this can be defined as AX I plus AY, sorry, I plus AYJ plus AZ. So remember I, J, and K, and their properties are I dot I is nothing but 1, I dot J is 0, I dot K is 0. Likewise, your J dot J is 1, J dot I will be 0, and J dot K will be 0, and then K dot K will be 1, then K dot I will be 0, and K dot J will be 0. This is called dot product, which we will study in detail. And in case of cross product, I cross I is nothing but 0, I cross J will nothing but K, then I cross K will nothing but minus J basically. It is basically, it is the cyclic I, then J, then K, then I, like this. So I, J is okay, but J and I will be minus K. Remember this. K and I, because after K, I will come. So K and I will be J. I and J will be K. There is no problem, but J and I will be minus K. J and K will be I, but K and J will be minus I. K and I will be J, and I and K will be minus I, minus J. So remember, it is cyclic basically, this cross product. So this is, I have given you today a little idea, but we will talk about this dot product and cross product in our next chapter in detail, and how these products are essential, and how you can find out the direction, because dot products is 1 0 like this, but here it is see, this cross product is giving you vector, it is giving you magnitude 1. So this is, dot product is basically scalar quantity, it is a vector quantity. So now today, now we will stop here, and we will further move, and we will study something more about this vector algebra, and then how we are going to put this vector algebra in our chapter motion in a plane. And we will again define what is position vector, what is velocity vector, and what is acceleration in terms of this I, J, K, and all these things. So this is going to be very interesting. So till now, till then, thank you very much and goodbye.